What's up, Internet? It's Yamez here with another video on the Better Than Wolves mod. And in this video I'm going to be going through a couple of additions to my world, as well as a tutorial on how to build your own gates and elevators. So if you've seen my previous video, you'll recognize this awesome windmill and village thing that I've made. But I'm going to go straight into the couple of small additions, the viewing deck and this gate here. And the gate is just pulleys and platforms, and you just hit this button, it opens and closes, and the same with the other button, but they both do the same thing. And not as convenient as a normal door, much more awesome, and it keeps the creepers out, which is all you really want. This floor is just the pulley and some wiring, and that gearbox over there is powered from upstairs. So there's the gate, and this room has a T flip-flop inside it, which I will be showing you how to make in the tutorial. To the floor above is the viewing deck and machine room. So there's a pretty awesome viewing deck here, and a couple of water wheels powering the gate. Only one is really powering the gate. The other one's just for show, you know, a little bit of symmetry, and I don't know, might do something later. So on to the tutorial now. You're going to need a lot of wood, a lot of hemp to make rope, and axles and things like that. Also lots of redstone if you want to put the T flip-flop in. So what I've done here in this big empty room is I've dug an example mineshaft with a little bit of room for a ladder. What you want to start off with is a power supply. So I've already started off with one now because this is actually powering my elevator from the other video. And you're going to be making one very similar to this. It just has a button, you press it, it goes down, press it again, it goes up, and you're going to have a button at the bottom of the shaft that does the same thing. So yeah, the power supply was just going to be a water wheel, and it's very simple. If you're very confused by it, I'll just knock this one down. You build a gearbox, and you have to, an important thing with the gearbox is there's a lot of people having trouble with this, is when you place one, it must be, these arrows here must be facing where the power is coming from. So since I'm going to build a water wheel right here, the arrows are facing in. So the water wheel needs a lot of space, 5 by 5 I think it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So once you have that amount of space, you just get the water wheel, right click, and there it is. And I'm stuck. Awesome. And I'm just going to connect it to that gearbox and build an example elevator right here. To start it off, you're going to want lots of these platforms, which are made with wood and wicker. If you have a saw, you can actually make these platforms much cheaper, wood, but you're going to need a lot of wicker. And in my example, I'm going to be making it too high, just so I can attach the anchor and pulley. So once you've decided on the shape, you're going to need an anchor, and the anchor can sit wherever you want really, but in this example I'm just going to plop it on top of here. And the anchor is the thing that receives the rope and connects it to the platforms. And after that, you're going to want a pulley, stick it directly above the anchor, and you see how the rope kind of automatically connects. The pulley is going to need power, so we're going to grab our gearboxes and axles, gearbox, axle, and we're going to have to remember there's only a maximum of 3 axles until you have to have another gearbox. So 1, 2, 3, and then when placing the gearbox, remember always the arrows must be facing where the power is coming from. So in this case it's coming from this way. So I'm just going to try and... No, that didn't work. Probably should do this properly. There we go. And if you see this, the distance here is 4, so we're going to need another gearbox. So probably, there we go. That's not going to work. 1, 2. I should probably be a bit more graceful with this. And now it's connected. So there's power to and from to that pulley. And just for testing, I want to throw a lever on this gearbox, so that when I toggle that lever, it will cut power to this pulley. And I'm going to put rope in it. And you need lots of rope if you want it to go deep. So basically, every level you can need 1 extra rope. So if I cut power, let's see what happens. Bam. The elevator will descend because it's not receiving mechanical power, and it will just like leave the platform dropping. But if you connect power to it, it will bring it back up again, up to its maximum. And so if you don't design the elevator right, it will go too high. So that's why I put these 2 here, because that's how much higher my roof is. So for example, if I didn't put these 2 platforms here and I just put an anchor right there, the elevator would go up to two more spaces, and to make it stop on the right level, I'd need to use some extra redstone wizardry, which I'm not going to get into. So design it right. Remember how high your roof is going to be. Alright, so now that we've got that working, technically we could just use the elevator right now. So down, and I could go all the way down to the bottom of the shaft. But you'd be stuck down there, because you've got no way to trigger the elevator. And that's what I'll get into right now. And so now we're going to build what's called a T flip-flop, which is just redstone jargon for a switch, but made out of redstone. And we're going to have there's 1 input and 1 output. And the input is going to be buttons, and in this case it's going to be 2 buttons, so 1 here and then 1 at the bottom of the shaft. And the output is what's going to be telling the gearbox to turn on or off. And it looks something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to want 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of this block. And 3 more blocks. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And as well as that, you'll need 5 torches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the wiring is also a little fiddly, and it looks like this. 1 here, there, there, all over the freaking place. Alright, so that was pretty complicated, but I'm just going to do a couple of 360 views so you'll know what's going on. And if I've done it right, all I have to do is attach a button here to test it out. Alright, so here's our test input. Hit it once, and there's the output right there. So right now it's off, and we want it to toggle. So on, hit it again, off, on, off. Brilliant. So there's that wet redstone wizardry done, and now we just have to connect it to our contraption here. The first button will be very easy. Anywhere on the first floor will do, really. I'm just gonna wire it over here. And don't forget to put a redstone wire on top of the block with the button. See how it leads to the button here? And so this will toggle it. Brilliant. And now we have to connect this output to this gearbox, or any of the gearboxes really, but this is the closest one. And I'm going to do it really ugly, but it's going to work. So it's just going to wire all the way up here and around, sneaking around this corner. And let's see if it works. So we're going to have to remove this switch here, because it will screw with the signal, and just test if it works. Hit this button, some banging, and then it goes up. Hit it again, and it goes down. So that means the T flip-flop is working. It's toggling based on a on-off input. And the final step now is to make a button down there. And the hardest part of that is to bring the current all the way up. So the easiest way I find is to make a button at the bottom, like so, and grab a bunch of torches and put one every 2 blocks. So redstone torch aimed at the center, not on the sides, so that will bring the signal all the way up. So that torch will be powering this block, which this redstone wire is sitting onto, which means the button is connected. One thing to look out for when using this method is to make sure that the current is not inverted. So what that means is do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it an even number of times and not an odd number of times, because if you have an odd number of torches it will get inverted the wrong way and the circuit will constantly think that a button is being pressed, which will screw it up. So let's just test it out here. Hit this button. Success! And that is how you build a really basic elevator. And what does this have to do with gates? Well, a gate and a basic elevator is really the same thing. I just gotta chop it up a little bit. And you have a gate. Yeah, a really malformed one, but you get the point. So good luck with your own design. Yeah. Yarman signing out.